Hey everybody, it's Major League Hats, and on today's episode, we are going to finally solve one of the biggest history's dilemma in sports history. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, stay tuned. But before we get going, I have a very special Rock People News edition. So let's go. In today's Rock People News, it is a very good one. And it's only going to be one story, so it's not going to be too long. But, being from Northern California, you guys know I am a Sharks fan. And before I get a little more in depth into that in just a second, I would like to clarify some things. The Las Vegas Knights, you're a very admirable team. I give you credit. But, the people that are out there bitching, saying that the penalty on Joe Pavelski should have only been a minor and it should only been 2 minutes and that the ref didn't see it, so how could they call it? Just shut up already. Seriously, just shut up. First of all, think about it. You're saying that changed the whole complexity of the game. Yeah, it woke the Sharks up. Why do you think in baseball, when your team is not doing so great, a manager will just go out there and they have no intentions of returning to the dugout unless it's to go down to the clubhouse. They are there to fire up their teammates. So when the Knights hit Joe Pavelski, they woke a sleeping giant. And at that point in time, late in the game, it was, 3-1. And you're going like, well, the refs didn't even see it. I got that. But, you know, if a tree falls and lands on a car, what do you think happens to the car? It gets crushed. So just because you didn't see the actual tree fall on the car, are you not saying that the car did not get hit by the tree when the car is smashed? Use some logic. This is what annoys me about sports fans. And it's not just that. It's like, I understand you want to be passionate for your team, but use some freaking common sense. That wasn't the point or anything that changed the game. Because if you really want to go really in depth, and I'm not really going to do that except for this one little part, but that hit that Joe Thornton put on the Knights player the other night, how many minutes did he get for that hit? Oh yeah, he was suspended for a whole freaking game. So how can you call that and say that Joe Thornton deserved to get suspended for a whole freaking game, but you're saying the hit on Joe Pavelski should have only been a minor? And you're probably going to go like, Major League Hats, you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to hockey. What do you mean I don't know what I'm talking about? Just because I am not as adverse in hockey as I am in baseball or even basketball or football doesn't mean I got two freaking good eyes. Well, the good eye part is a little debatable, but you know what I mean. And that changed the whole game for the freaking Sharks. Losing their biggest player on the what? I don't even want to say he's the biggest because he's a part of the team. And I know he'll never put himself above anybody else. But losing Joe Thornton is like losing Bryce Harper. It's like losing Chris Bryant. It's like losing Carlos Correa. Name any superstar player in baseball. And that's what it's like to lose Joe Thornton. And now, going into the second round, because the Knights suck, how many games is Joe Pavelski going to miss because of this BS? So, for all you fair-weather Las Vegas Knights fans, and even the legit Knights fans, to say that he shouldn't have even got the major on the penalties, you're crazy. Joe Pavelski was seriously hurt, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what happened. I saw one comment saying that they need replay to adjust these rules. What's next? We're going to start using replays to call balls and strikes? This is the problem with sports fans. I understand. The refs are a part of the game. They're the ones that make the game. They're not the reason we go to the game, and I hate it when a ref has a freaking, or an umpire has a freaking attitude, and they throw out a player because they think the game is about them. I hate that part. But the refs are a part of the game. They make some good calls, they make some bad calls. I can't tell you how many times I saw a play going against the Sharks that wasn't called either. If you're a real Knights fan, here's what you should be thinking about. Not about the minor or the major of what should have or should not have been called against Joe Pavelski. You should be wondering how you blew a 3-1 lead against the San Jose Sharks. San Jose Sharks have always been a good team. They just have a bad history in the playoffs. So, how did you screw it up? Oh yeah, because you're not as good as everybody thinks you are. So that's my Rock People news. Congratulations to the San Jose Sharks. You came back from a 3-1 deficit to beat the rookie Las Vegas Knights, who honestly, they're a good team, but they got no business competing for a Stanley Cup at this point in time in their expansion era. Name me a freaking team in any professional sports that has had the impact that the Knights have had. I can't think of any. I mean, shit. Look at the Texas Rangers. They still haven't won a World Series. How long has it been since the Cleveland Indians won the last World Series? 50-something years? Should I bring up the Chicago Cubs? I'm just saying, Knights, your time will come eventually. But reality says, and the way expansion teams typically work, you should enjoy your success right now because you shouldn't even be having this kind of success. But it just shows the intelligence of the general manager and the owner to select very good players. And I give the Las Vegas Knights all the credit in the world. They're a good team, but I'm not jumping on their bandwagon like some people. When you hit the playoffs, you only get to root for one team. Now, I'll say that with a little caveat. Like, in baseball, I always root for an AL team and an NL team. Because, you know, obviously they're not going to play against each other. But once you get to the World Series, you better have your team locked down. Now, I might say, hey, it'd be nice that the Red Sox win, or the Cubs win, or the Astros will win the World Series. But that's only if the Giants are not in it. And I know, you know, teams like the Blackhawks aren't in it, so you need a team to root for, and I get that. But you can't be choosing like 4 different teams in the playoffs. It's like, I'm just going to throw shit at a wall, and I'm going to see what sticks. So, that's my Rock People News edition for today. And it's going to bring us up to the main point of this whole video. So without further ado, let's get into the video because it's going to be a good one. I don't want to say it's going to be a banger, but it's going to be a very good video. And just so you guys know, I'm going to preference this by saying this is all good and will and fun. I just have a feeling that the dislike dweebs are going to be attacking this video. And this could potentially be my #1 most hated video next to my New Era Snapback Flex Fit and Velcro edition hat, man. I got a lot of hate on that video. The dislike dweebs were out on that one. And I feel like the dislike dweebs are going to be returning in full force. Montgomery has some friends, and he knows who to call. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright, so in this video I talked about a big point, a big topic that I just want to clear up with you guys. I get asked all the time, and I've been talking to a friend on Instagram and Twitter, and I want to bring some clarity to this issue. I'm going to finally clear up how is it determined that you are a bandwagon fan. I came up with 10 rules, 10, which will determine if you're a bandwagon fan or a true fan. So let's get on to rule number 1. Rule number 1. Do you live in the area of the team that you're rooting for? Yes or no? So if you answered yes, you don't get a point. If you answered no, you get a point. And I'll explain the whole point total thing to you at the end. Question number 2. Is the team less than 5 years old of existence? Are they new to the league? Are they an expansion team? Yes or no? If you answer yes, 1 point. If you answer no, 0 points. Remember, as I'm asking you these questions, make sure you write down your point totals. So let's go on to question number 3. Have you ever been to a home game? If the answer is yes, 0 points. If the answer is no, 1 point. Alright, so by now in the video, you're getting a little worried and you're starting to question your fandom. But don't worry, the very last question is going to be the true question. So let's get on to question number 4 to determine if you are a bandwagon fan. Question 4. Can you name half of the team and the coach? Now, I'll give you credit if you can't name the coach. And remember, you're doing this off the top of the head. So like in my case, I'm going to say the Sharks because that's my team. And I can name Pavelski, Sorensen, Hurdle, Vlasic, Burns, Carlson, because there's 2, the Milkman Carlson and Erik Karlsson. Who else? Evander Kane, my buddy. You got Ray Dale. You got Dale. The goalies, you got Jones. But if I wasn't a true fan, could I name that many players? I would have to say no, because it's just sometimes not that easy to all of a sudden, when somebody's asking you to name players on a team, just to come up with it on the top of your head. So question number 4, can you name half of the players on the team and the coach? But if you can't name the coach, I'll take that into consideration, because that could be, coaches change all the time, so I understand that. If the answer is yes, you get 0 points. If the answer is no, you get a point. Remember, keep track of your point totals, because it's going to be a very important key factor to determine if you are a bandwagon fan. All right, let's go on to question number 5. Question number 5. Are you in denial that you are a bandwagon fan? Are you always being questioned if you're a real true fan of a particular team? Like, for example, some people lately have been saying they're Las Vegas Knights fans. But how can you call yourself a true Las Vegas Knight fan if you don't live in the city of Las Vegas? The team is less than 5 years old. So how are you a Knights fan? So the important point totaling here, if you answered yes, you're in denial, 0 points. If you answered no, you're not in denial, 1 point. So make sure you're remembering your point total. You want to keep track. It's very important to finding out if you're a bandwagon fan or a true fan. All right, let's move on to question number 6. Question number 6. Are you rooting for multiple teams in the playoffs? If you answer yes, 1 point. If you answer no, 0 points. So right about now, you're probably starting to really question your fanhood of a particular team. And that's good, because this is what these questions are meant to do. Question you to see if you're a real fan. So let's get on to question number 7. Question number 7 is, the particular team that you are a fan of, do you watch at least 1/3 of their home games? Think about that. Are you watching 1/3 of their home games? Now, I try to make that question about watching 1/3 of the home teams a little bit easier. I was originally going to say half the games, but with everything going on in people's lives and with all the content available on YouTube, including my channel, which if you're not already subscribed, if you could hit that subscribe button, hit your notifications so you get notified when I upload my next video, I'd greatly appreciate it. There's just sometimes just not enough time to watch everything on the internet or watch the games. All right, let's move on to question number 8. Question number 8. Do you have any autographs from the home team of the team that you say you are a true fan of? So have you purchased any autographs from the particular team that you're rooting for? And I apologize on the previous question. If you answered yes, put yourself down for 0 points. If you answered no, give yourself 1 point. So on this question is, do you have any autographs from the particular team that you root for? If you answer yes, give yourself 0 points. If you answer no, give yourself 1 point. So make sure you keep a track. We're almost done. 2 more, so bear with me here. Question number 9 of determining if you are a bandwagon fan. Question number 9. Do you own more than 5 hats for that particular team that you're rooting for? And I know that's a big question, because 5 hats seems like a lot. But if you're a true fan, 5 hats is not very many. I mean, if I could think about it, I definitely own more than 5 Giants hats. Definitely own more than 5 Ace hats. I own more than 5 Yankees, 5 Red Sox hats. So, I can't tell you if I have 5 hats of any other team. Maybe the Washington Nationals because of Bryce Harper. But that's about it. So if you answered yes to this question, you get 0 points. If you answered no to this question, you get 1 point. All right, let's move on to the last and final question to determine, are you a bandwagon fan? Question number 10. Do you have a tattoo of the team that you're rooting for that you say you're a true fan of? So I know question number 10 is like a very deep question in a sense, because I know not everybody likes tattoos, but if you are a true fan, you should have a tattoo of the team that you supposedly root for. I got my Giants tattoo, and you're going like, well, you got other baseball tattoos on your arm as well. Well, yeah, that's because I love baseball. I'm a baseball traveler, but I'm not a fair weather fan, and the Giants tattoo is the biggest tattoo on my arm. So on this particular question, if you answered yes, you subtract all your points. If you answered no, you get 1 point. So you're going to need to total up all your points. And here's the kicker. If your score is more than 5 points, you're a bandwagon fan. So after going through all 10 questions, somebody comes to mind about who is a bandwagon fan. Let me think about it. Am I right or am I right? So in my case, being a Sharks fan, let's see how I did. Do you live in the area of your team that you root for? Yes, I live in Northern California. 0 points. Is the team less than 5 years old? No, Sharks are a lot older than 5 years old, so 0 points. See how this is working? Have you ever been to a home game? Up until this year, the answer would have been no. But this year, as you guys know, I went to my first hockey game finally. Been wanting to go forever. So the answer is yes, I've been to a home game. Can you name half of the players on the team you root for? Yes, I did that earlier. I named half of the Sharks players. So I'm doing good. Right now, my point total is 0. See how this is working? And that was on question number 4. So there's 6 more questions. Let's go. Are you in denial? No, not in denial. And that's a legit fact if you take into consideration all the other questions. So 0 points. Are you rooting for multiple teams in the playoffs? Nah, not really. I mean, if the Sharks aren't going to win, I want the Caps to win only because they're defending champions. It's always hard to repeat. But they're not playing each other yet, so no. I'll say no. You can tell me yes, fine. If you want to give me a point, I don't care. But I'll say no. I'm rooting for the Sharks, strictly for the Sharks. They're the team I want to win, obviously. Still at 0 points. You can give me a point if you want, but I'm going to say 0. So, all right, let's check out how I did on the rest. Do you watch 1/3 of the games? Yes, I have literally watched all the games except for probably 10 games the whole season. And in fact, I still have those on the recorder, so I might go check those out. But it's very imperative that I make sure I'm watching the playoffs games first. So the answer is yes, I've definitely watched more than 1/3 of the Sharks games this season. Doing good so far. Do you have any autographs from the team? Actually, I do! Funny question. I have 3 autographs from the team, and I actually ordered something very cool I'll show you guys later, but it has to do with another autograph. The answer is yes. So that's question number 8, and I am still at 0 points, unless you guys wanted to give me a point on that last one. So I'm doing pretty dang good. Here's where we get a little tricky. Do you own more than 5 hats? No, I don't have 5 hats of the Sharks. In fact, I only have 2 hats, and I only really got them this year, and I'm being honest with you guys, so I get another point. So if you guys want to give me a point for that, I have 1 point, or in some people's mind, I have 2 points. Last question, of course, was the tattoo question where you lose all the points. I don't have a Sharks tattoo. Would I get a Sharks tattoo? Maybe, down the line. I really want to work on my baseball tattoo design first, but definitely down the line, I would definitely consider it. I have no problem if somebody wanted to pay for me to get a tattoo of a Sharks logo, I would do that right now. But when it comes down to it, it is a money thing, so I have to wait. But if anybody wants me to get a Sharks tattoo and you guys want to set it up for me, I will get a Sharks tattoo. So I don't lose any points. I do get 1. So at the very most, I have a total of 3 points out of 10. I'm a true fan. Are you a true fan? That is the question. Let me know down in the comment section how you ranked. Are you considered a bandwagon fan by these rules that I came up with? Or are you a true fan? Let me know your honest point total. Don't lie to me, guys. Please don't lie to me. That just takes the fun out of this. Be honest with yourself. Evaluate yourself. Are you a true fan of the particular team you're rooting for? Let me know down in the comment section if you guys liked my 10 rules on determining if you're a bandwagon fan. Please make sure you leave a thumbs up. Trying to get 30 thumbs up on every single video, so if you could do that, greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, hit your notifications. If you want to follow me on social media, you can do that at Major League Hats with a Z. And of course, I got my Patreon page, so if you want to check that out, feel free to use the link down at the bottom. And if you want to join the Facebook group, I've got a Facebook group as well for anything hats, so go to the link down at the bottom. Thanks for watching. This is Major League Hats, out. Bye, everybody. See ya.